I found out that excessively high water bills have been haunting this business owner for at least a year or more. He says he did reach out to the city to follow up, and he says what he was doing was he was following the advice that was given to him by a city official. Now his business here hasn't had water since December, and his bill is close to $50,000.
We used to work 6 days a week trying to build this business.
Ameen Dawan says plenty of sweat, love, faith, and hard work went into building his family's Southside barbershop and boutique.
We spend most of our life paying for this building. Let's get some residual now out of it.
But these days, Dawan says they're facing a huge financial challenge. He shows us this city water bill that reflects a $43,000 balance, but he says a recent phone call he was informed it's now $48,000. A giant leap from this other excessively high water bill his whole street business received in January of last year for more than $19,000. What does it feel like?
It's unbelievable.
The 73-year-old disabled vet says it all started a few years ago when his water bill jumped from the normal $150 to more than $1,000. He says one day the city showed up to disconnect his water, but he paid the grand, even though he says he knew something was terribly wrong. While trying to work it out on his own, he says he simply followed the advice given to him by a city rep.
So she said, Ameen, just give me $150 a month. But the city kept on sending this stuff here with this cutoff notice on it. I've been in the city long enough that I know what a cutoff notice look like. Anybody who get them these cutoff notices here, disconnection. I got about 13 of them.
Meanwhile, Dawan says he paid 3 different plumbers to check for a leak.
They couldn't find any leakage when because they went into the street one time. So when they went in there, the plumber was out and they was looking and they said, that's not on this side. Because there was a whole lot of water out there.
Convinced old city pipes may be the problem, Dawan wants the city to take a deeper, closer look. He fears that all he's worked hard for to be able to leave to his children will go right down the drain if this issue isn't resolved.
I'm at the point now, I'm 73 years old, so I'm okay. I get a little from the military and a little Social Security check. So, but still, who wants to come and your business go with you when you pay to the cemetery, the business right behind you, going into the grave.
Back live here on Hull Street, DPU officials declined to speak specifically about Mr. Dawan's case, citing privacy reasons, but we're told they're going to look at his case. Per protocol, I'm told, though, when DPU gets a customer call about an excessively high bill, they will note the account, send out a technician, and allow that person to check the line on the city's side of the meter to check for a leak. And we're also told that they will check to make sure that their electronic equipment, their transponders, are working. If it is a city's leak, we're told that they will put a hold on the account. They will not disconnect the service. They will research it, do a credit for the customer. But if it's on the customer side, that person is responsible for paying that water bill. Coming up a little later at 6, Mr. Dawan says he has one big question for the city. We posed that question to the city. We'll tell you what they said coming up a little later at 6. Back to you guys in the studio.